me go and teach us there are things that I don't want to learn. George Michael. Oh, the last one I had made me cry. So I don't want to learn to hold you. Oh, George, you singing. Cause there ain't no joy for an uptown girl whose teacher has told you goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, goodbye. George, rest in peace. The memories I have with Wham and George Michael. And of course, as soon as I turn on my music to go live, first thing in my ear is George Michael. Made me happy. Happy Friday, everybody. How you doing? Sorry if I get lost a little bit. You know, some songs when you hear them, boy, they'll stop you where you at. And this one of them. If you say that you need me, that you'll never leave me, I know you're wrong. You're not that strong. Let me go. Oh, he's snapping. Oh, the one thing I am. What do you got? He got his pride. He's jamming. You know, I thought they was muting me when I was playing music before, and I said, "Dang, I ain't even nobody out here. Let me play my music in this." But they can't stop it. They can't censor these ears. Who's just as unwilling to try. I'm so cold. He's so cold now. Inside. Maybe just one more. Just give him one more. Just give him one more. Sheesh. How could you not love George Michael? Oh, goodness. Hey, everybody. Sorry, you know, I get lost in the music. I probably should have played that song and then started it, but, you know, they just playing my jams in my ear from Pandora, so I'm sorry. But some songs, you know, lots of times I'm hearing jams and I can actually, you know, go through them, maybe break them up. But there's some songs where, whoo, you done made whole videos for them in my head already. And I'm talking about these be videos of my life. Like, hey, how did I get in that video? What's that music does, man? I don't know about y'all. But how was everybody's week? You know, what have you got into this week? Me? Listen, it was it's a weird week. Like I said, I'm waiting on my happy Friday to you too, Barbara. I'm waiting on my brother to come pick me up so I can head on out, you know, to my city. But it's kind of good because, you know, well, here's what I say. You know how something happens that you didn't plan for or prepare for, and you're like, oh, this just messed up everything. But then a couple of days later, something else may come up that means that this all fell in line. So for me, I've been deciding, like, man, where I'm going to go? Am I going to go back west? Am I going to go south? Am I going to go over here? But wherever I go, I just want to make sure that I'm able to get back and forth to my doctor's appointments or anything I need to do. You know what I mean? So I've been really thinking, and I'm like, you know what? It looked like I'm just going to, you know, wherever I go, I'll still be able to get back and forth. But I don't know. I'm really thinking about Northern Illinois. But then it's like, oh, be around all them college kids. Put me in the area where they not. So, like I said, I don't know. I'm just deciding what works best for me. And sometimes, like as a parent, you'll not forget, because I can never forget that, but You so used to looking for places with your kids, or looking for places that had enough room for them and you, and or your pets and them and you and all this stuff. And then it's weird when you get down to this place where it's like, well, really, outside of my dog, I am just looking for a place for me. So that's always weird to me. I don't know if it's that empty house syndrome, because I think that comes from being so used to the noise and everything else. I went through that phase when they first started getting grown, and my youngest, 18, went to when he was 18, when he went to Texas. So even though they all weren't gone, I still had my other two, but he was gone. But there was a difference. And it also made me start realizing, well, it's like, well, he's 18 and your oldest is 20, about to be 21 at the time. So this is actually what's about to be a part of your life, is them moving in. But my whole thing is my children can stay with me until they could be on their feet. Now that doesn't mean they can stay with me and do nothing with their life. That's never what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is I don't want to put them out there and they're not ready, or put them out there unprepared, or put them out there on someone else like that. Now, that doesn't mean sit on me for life, and that's not what will happen. But, I strongly believe in that. And I feel like each person knows who your children are. So you know what's best. So make that decision on your own. I never knock people. Oh, they grown, they live with their kids. I know adults who live with their parents, and it's not because they don't have a place to go, and it's not, it's how they work together. And so that's what works, and to each his own. So I don't judge that quickly. I lived with my mom for a while. I mean, and I had moved out and came back, and I was blessed to have that, so no one should knock that. And because don't get me wrong, when you're grown and you do stuff yourself, it's hard to live with anybody. It's hard to be sitting back, because no matter what you're doing, I know I will. I'll just start feeling like I'm doing nothing. You know what I mean? And so to each his own. This week has been pretty good. Let me see. Oh, I got to speak on this. So on the Amber show yesterday, she did a review of Rio's Twitch, where he had Siwa and Cooch and on there. And as she's doing a review, we go from the review, and what was the bread and butter for me as I watched was when Rio and Dee's husband spoke to each other. As this has been firing up, it's several things, I think, And to me, everybody always about, if you say something, it's a side. To me, it's just your thoughts or your opinions, and we all have them, or your feelings. We all have those. So, one, I really started hearing Dee's name when around Thanksgiving, when her son passed. And so when that happened, that made me pay attention to her name. Then I started seeing things where there was such disrespect about her child. And here's my stand on that. I don't really care what a kid was out there doing. I really don't care what she was out there doing. One thing I'm never going to knock somebody for is anything like that. Never, ever. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Yeah, I'm a mother, and I'm a mother first. So when I put everything to the side, that's what I am first. Good, bad, or indifferent, that's what I am first. So I would never. So it made me really pay more attention to her name. You know what I mean? And pay attention to, what was, going on with that or whatever. But as things started going with Rio and Dee, I was really kind of confused, because I'm like, Dee was just on Rio's team and helping him out. You know what I mean? And from my heart, not from a place of, And the reason I know it couldn't have been from a place of showing out is because it was a while before I even heard about it, that she was somebody who participated in helping him out. So as this fire built up, what I didn't want to see is it escalate to more. Let me tell you something. When we talk violence, I hate it. I know it's part of this world. It goes on everywhere, in every race, and everything else. But when I stop and I step inside of mine, I don't like to see the kings fight. And I don't like to see the queens fight, to tell you the truth. But there's something in the power that a king is supposed to be. So I don't even like it. I really don't. You know what I mean? I don't. I think all the things they could be fighting about but each other. So from the streets to the tube, I'm going to have that opinion about that. But when they came at first, oh, it's about to go wrong quick. And it didn't. And to me, that took maturity. That took, can I say it was the greatest conversation and it went the right, the all the best places? No, I won't. But will I say that it didn't escalate and it's a start? And see, a mustard seed is all we need. And so, did it plant a mustard seed? Yeah, it did. So you could dye that part of the fire out. You know what I mean? And that's cool because once again, when I get back to thinking about D, you know what I mean? It's like I know sometimes this other stress can take you somewhere else, so you have to think. But it ain't nothing you need on the plate. You know what I mean? The plate is full. It's overflowing. You don't need this on it. So I was happy to see that. And then when I think of a king, he doesn't have a color. He is a king. But when I see the young men that could be, he only 34, he couldn't be my son or nothing, but could be my little brother, could be my nephews, could be my anything out there. Hold on one second. When I think of the kings, I think of how a king is to treat a queen and to come up and stand in that and stand up for her. Like, so that I salute that. That was positive. So like I said, even in what we all call a mess, you know what I mean? I'm not calling it mess. People are making people accountable. I mean, we've been doing it behind the shades for so long. Might as well bring it right here to the forefront. Stop bringing it to the forefront when it's all blown up and now you're just using it to, telling me to cover up your own ass. Bring it to the forefront. And if that's what you choose to do and you're part of it or it's part of you or part of a situation you're involved in, go right ahead. I mean, I'm not knocking that on nobody. But yeah, so I really I really liked seeing that. I really did. That was a good thing to see because I just knew it was about to go to hell in the handbasket and it didn't. So that was a good thing for me. Well, to me, not for me. It wasn't for me. Everybody on here, as far as I know, are adults. You know what I mean? So since everybody on here is an adult, their decisions are theirs. You know what I mean? They had to stand in them, live in them, accept them, not accept them. That's on them. For me, I'm only responsible for me. And so, hold on one second. I hate those little quick text messages your phone saying we don't answer the phone. Dig if you will, a picture. Yeah, I gotta excuse me. Sometimes I'm jumping. I'm jumping all around the world. But I just wanted to text my buddy back. Because see, what I'm trying to do more days is just think about like myself and how I would feel. And that's how I'm trying to do people. And like I said, the funny thing is I say something and it's like it's the gospel, like I'm only saying this. Look, let me tell y'all something. When I tell y'all about the word bitch, like I said, I use it still. I still do. I just stopped using this all my ways to describe a chick. That's just it. That's all I'm saying. Like, if you use it, Daddy's not sitting cringing and jumping in her, clutching her pearls and all this when you say it because I just never heard it. These virgin ears don't do it. No, nah, that's never what I'm saying. I am truly just saying, hey, I just tried to stop doing it all the time because, like I said, at one point, if I told the story, it'd be about my grandmother. That's how bad it is when you're using the word. So I'm just speaking on myself. And here's the funny thing. If you say, man, now I'm just giving an example, not saying I ever did, but just giving an example and saying, man, I just use it that much and telling a story. We're talking about women. Somebody will say, oh, how wrong? You called your grandma a B? No, I ain't never called my grandma a B. Ever. I'm not even telling the story. I use that as an example just to let you know how much I use the word. It's a shame out here you got to explain things you aren't doing, but you don't got to explain the stuff somebody should really be asking you, why are you doing that? Why are you saying that? Why are you acting like that? Everybody's more concerned with what somebody else doing and how they should govern that or tell them what they should and shouldn't. I don't. I know. You want to see me coming around, you want to see me jumping in the chat and saying something, then one, your chat got to be a place to be able to do that. Not because, like I said, I don't need clout. I will come in as somebody else just so you know, just like, oh, let me come in under the page I had in 2008, which is still under my own name. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing I'm hiding, anything like that. But what? Wait, what? It still got my picture. Wait, what? I'm not doing that. And that's the problem. You come in the chat, people swear you coming for clout. You come in the chat, people are rude or in a bunch of mess you don't want to be in. You're not gonna get me in that chat, even if I watch it. I'm just watching it without a chat. I'm watching it like I'm watching it over. Because when I'm watching something over, the only way I'm in the chat, reading the chat while I'm watching it over, is if I know for a fact somebody better be in this chat saying the truth. If I hear somebody tell the story, you're like, okay, man, y'all. I may not know what you was thinking or what led you to that, but if you gonna tell the story about what we seen with our own eyes, don't lie to me. Just stand in it. I mean, stand in it. Like I said the other day about Clinton Jim. I don't stand with domestic violence, period. I don't care if it's guys or girls. I think guys can be abused by women. Guys can be abused by, other men. They can be abused. I'm sorry. I'm not saying they can't be. They are. And some are, we thought he must have been weak. He must have been this. He must have been that. Or he must have just been abused. He must have been. So I know that can happen. Just like I don't know what it is now, but I know a few years ago, up until a few years ago, at least, I know that in prison, men can't even say they were being hard, which I thought was pretty weird because they are constantly hard in prison. There's lots of them, who are having it taken to emasculate them, to down them, to make them meat. So, I don't know. We just live in one of those worlds. But like I said, even with that situation, it just made me think about how many people are out here who need, some kind of a support and all those type of things. So it's what you get out of something. What do you get out of it when you watch something? Do you just want to get the mask so you can say you got the mask? Do you just want to go into the chat and screenshot what people say so you can run that back? Do you just, you know what I mean? Because here's my thing about screenshots in the chat. Unless you are watching the live chat, forget the screenshot because the screenshot isn't live. That's just you took it while it was going on live. But my whole thing is, unless you're playing the chat and the thing at the same time, I don't know what those people are responding to. And sometimes in the chat, I could be talking right now at this point, but somebody could be in a chat. Somebody could be in a chat talking about something from 2 minutes ago, or responding to something from 2 minutes ago from somebody else. So that's the thing about the chat. Like, it's like, where do we have a place to go? And also, I do understand that sometimes it's in that chat where you catch people in their lies too. It's people. I'm not here to knock nobody's no way. I watch who I watch. I support who I support. I support a lot of people on here. You know what I mean? So because you know who I support, don't mean that's all I support. It's that simple. It's all that simple. And there's all these gatekeepers around here to who everybody's doing and what they doing and what they watching. It's as simple as whatever you want to do. If you want to watch something, watch it. You know what I mean? If you want to be a part of something, be a part of it. If you want to jump in the mess, jump in the mess. That's it. That's how I look at it. And that's what everybody has the right and the will to do. I'm here to do me. I'm only here to do me. I'm not here to make nobody me, turn nobody into me, tell them that the way I'm doing is the only way or the best way. I'm here to be me. But like I said, one of the things you'll know, I can promise you, even when I'm sitting here, that's why when I go home, you can see it more, you know what I mean? Especially, even if it's not in my area. But one of the things is some of the places you never go is where I'm going to be at. I might have just went there to get something to eat. I might have went there to visit a family member. I might have went over there for a parade or a march they were having. I might have went over there because somebody had a pop-up shop over there. I might be over there because I get my hair cut over there. I might be over there because I'm getting my hair braided over there. Wherever it is, but what if I didn't go to those places because somebody said, oh, I don't go there because of this? You're free to go wherever you want to go. You know what I mean? And one thing you're going to get is the same way somebody going to say, I'm coming up in here and showing respect or doing this to somebody in here. It's the same thing you're going to say on the streets. They're going to say, oh, they ain't come over here disrespectful. But then he also ain't take no BS when he came. It's just that simple. So I don't look for nothing. What I'm looking for ain't drama. That's easy to find. I can find that easy. I could jump off here right now and jump on one of these social medias, go find some drama. I call the right people, get some drama. That's easy. That's easy. It's just like I tell people, you want to go find the people that get you high, get you drunk, get you in the middle of some BS. That's easy. Go find the ones that'll take you to that job interview. The ones that's gonna check on you when you're sick. Huh? Where them same people at? Just like think about it on here when you're in the mass. You got all the people that's in the mass or in the cloud chasing. Where they at for the peace? Where they at for the real riots? Where they at? Where they at? You know? It's just like even when I wanted to post something about Ukraine. So at first on one of my lives, I said an example, like I said, my granddaughter have German, because I just didn't even really feel like getting into what my granddaughter was. I didn't want to get into that conversation. But the truth of the matter is my granddaughter is half Polish. And I respect her grandparents and her mother and everything else because she is a part of my son and my son is a part of me. And so for that, they are my family. And so when everything was going on, I didn't even bother to think back of any family that they had anywhere around Ukraine or anything else, or could they be affected by it? At first, I didn't. But then when I was talking to my mom one day, and I thought, I just have to show support and love, because here's the thing, in everything, there's bad people. There might be people in her family who say, I can't believe that you have a half-black child, and do you know what they did? But at the end of the night, they're my family. They are my family. So what they love, I love if I don't even know it. And I'm praying for it to be happy, because if they're unhappy or they're sad, then that affects the beings of my granddaughter. And so for that alone, I will stand there, because those are people I know who come from there and they're not like that and they're not against, because like I said, we are a family. So I don't want to see the war nowhere, period. But I send my love and my importance and support and say I stand with Ukraine for that alone. For that alone. And that's it. But yeah, I try not to even get into deep racial, political, like I said, because all of those need to have one topic at a time for me. So I don't really get deep in them, but I did want to explain that because I haven't been on live in a few days. So I definitely want to explain that one. That short I did, because that's where I stand with that. And I'm going to stand there with that. So like I said, just knowing that my granddaughter's grandmother has family out there, her mother, you know what I'm saying? It's just family. She's praying for every night. And I'm praying for them too. And their friends and their loved ones. And that's just where I stand. It's a piece of me. You know, that's it. But today is going to be a real laid back day for me. I think I just want to watch a bunch of movies and chill, hang out. It's beautiful outside. It's a beautiful day. It's about 80 degrees out here. But and I know it's cool, warm outside, because the house, the central air and everything automatically turn on at certain degrees. And I'm like, is that air? So I'm like, oh my goodness, it's a warm one out there today. But yeah, like I said, I really just came on today to say what's up, make sure I put a live out, you know what I mean? Chill. I just thought I'd come in right at this time where I kind of wanted to do it as an upload and just run my mouth and upload. But then I said, just in case you babble for an hour, I just don't feel like doing that. So I said, we'll just go live. You know what I mean? I know how I feel about it live. I'm doing it to come right in the moment and mindset that I'm in, to give out energy and get it back. And sometimes literally I just come on to run my mouth and chit chat with you guys. Sorry. It's so weird to go from no nails. Look, so see this one? I keep biting this nail still. So it's so weird to start growing your nails and realize how much stuff can get on them, on everything you touch. Oh, that's good. Yeah, my mom and them was telling me Chicago is supposed to be like in the 50s, 60s this weekend. You know, that's always a good thing and a bad thing, but it's a good thing for the weather-wise. But yeah, out here in Georgia, it's definitely been warm the last couple of days. So even at the nighttime, it's still nice though. So it's been nice out here. And I'm glad I said, well, the good thing is if I had to be out here an extra week or two, at least it's great weather. At least that, and at least it helps me get closer to April, which may be Chicago. But we've had snowstorms in Chicago in April, so I just want to get past the cold. This is my first year not doing a Chicago winter in my life, and it's like, okay, I kind of enjoyed it. So if I got to go back, it's like, let me go back when it's still warm. Like, even when it's been cold out here, even when I put on my Uggs, I'm like, I can make it in my Crocs. So even when I complained about the cold, it was like cold for out here, but it would have been a summer for us in the Chi, I guess. So it wasn't that bad, even the winter at all. To me, it wasn't. It was definitely doable. I had came out here with that Chicago mentality, like, oh, it's not going to be cold enough. I got rid of my big old coats. I don't know why. Then I got out here, and the first time it was like 30. I'm like, why did I not bring a coat? Then I got into this place where I'm like, oh, I'm determined to be out there with no coat. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. With super hoodie, like, you know what I mean? But not no coat, like no Chicago, you got to have a coat. But when I was first coming back, and I was like, oh, when I originally was thinking about coming back February 1st, I thought, oh, no, I definitely got to get a coat before I come down there and even play with Chicago in February. January and February, the worst. So I'm glad to be going back so close to spring. But yeah, I'm just sitting in here jamming the music on my ears, running my mouth. Glad it's Friday. Hoping this weekend I'm heading back. That's really what I'm on. But other than that, I'm not really on anything. Like I said, let me see. Well, did I do anything else this week? Not really. I went and did the beads, the African beads. Oh, so let me explain those. So the African beads, now don't get me wrong, as your body develops when they go down to where your waist is, you know what I mean? When you lose everything up here, because they're going to stay up in the areas they're supposed to, you know what I mean? And it's purposely also, well, two of the things it does. One, it works with your posture. Because if I hunch down a little bit and sit bad like this, like right now I'm sitting bad, I'm going to feel them tighten up because of the way I'm bent. So they're going to force me to sit up straight and hold my posture up. You know what I mean? So the one, they're going to do that. And then two, when you're eating, you know how you're eating, you're like, oh, I got to give me some more. Or you get these big portions. I've learned, I wouldn't say perfect portion control, but I have learned to size down, but then I'll go get seconds. You know what I mean? But when you get full, they get tight. So once they tighten, it's hard to just sit there and keep eating. You know what I mean? So it controls you in that, you know, and it also controls your stomach muscles because of what you're going to do with your own stomach automatically because they're on. So I would have played the video. Most of it was me laughing and telling the lady how I, you know, how even if we were talking about hair and, you know, our own hairs, and we were talking about lock socks, you know, for people to put their locks in. We were talking about, that's when she was explaining to me about posture and about your stomach muscle and how even when she wrap them around, it's going to make you, you know, hold your stomach same way, but it's also going to make you work with the muscle in your stomach. So it's that, but you know, anything is with your own control too. So that means that you have to do things too. Have to cut off all these sweets. Like I've been in the last month so sweet crazy that it's adding. I can feel it on my face. I can see it in the weight on my face. I can feel it. Like, so I'm like, I got to cut that back. And sweets aren't good for me. I have a sugar problem. Yeah, so it's a step. And like, even to me, like, they are hot, they are just hot, having them, period. And I just believe in loving yourself. And when you love yourself, even when you're going to fix things or get things in control or whatever, you're truly doing them just for the better of you, not for somebody else, because these guys like this size, or because I want to impress all the chicks who were in high school better, whatever your reason may be. Like, it doesn't have to be that. It's for me. So like I said, with the beads, so they did 5 for 20. But we were so busy laughing and spinning around that she missed the mark of the end spot. So then she said, "Oh no," because now you know how they connected, because each one is connected to each other. So she said, "I'm gonna give you a piece of extra." She said, "You know what? I'll just do the extra one." So I got 6 for the 20, 6 for the 20. But it's so much I want out that store. They had this mango shea butter. I love shea butter. I have it on right now. Just took a bath with shea butter and stuff. Like, I love shea butter. So they had this mango shea butter. Then they had these salt rocks that you could light up like incense, and you put them in, like, candle burners or whatever, wax burners. And oh my goodness. And I'm like, I'm driving back to the shop, so I definitely want stuff like that. And it's funny because I definitely need to shake about a good 30 pounds to myself, just, to get myself in a physical. I'm 5'11". It's a certain amount of weight I feel I should weigh. But in your height, sometimes you're hiding it yourself from yourself, because it's like, wait a minute, I look with clothes and without, but I just gotta love me even when it needs work, because if I don't, then I won't work on it. People think, like, even people think if they tell you, "Oh, you're fat," it's gonna make you lose weight. No, it could make you fatter. So I'm just a strong believer, when you love something, you'll take care of it. Just like when you love something, you want to make it proud, or when you love something, you want to not hurt it, And so that's it. But yeah, so I've been wanting to be since my sister got them in October. But I also wanted to, like, see how they worked. You know what I mean? See what they did. But then I went and I was like, I gotta get them. So once I didn't leave on Sunday, we had to go up there, and I'm like, oh, and she was getting her anklet fixed. And they did anklets too. And I could have got like a wraparound anklet, but all I really wanted my first trip was the beads. But now so many things I want out of there. So many outfits, and oh my goodness. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I need to definitely shake a 30. I think in these 6 months I put 30 on. Because see, like, when I was back home, one of the reasons, once again, like I said, I'm 5'11", so sometimes it can seem hidden in clothes or whatever, but I walk a lot. So back home, I at least, and this is no lie, even in the winter, I at least walk a mile a day. Because see, there's nowhere I'm going that I can't get to. So I'm gonna walk while the bus is coming. I'm gonna walk. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get off the train, walk the 2-3 blocks. I'm gonna hit all those stairs at every train station when you gotta go through it. Not no elevator, So I'm definitely gonna move like that. But that helps you. That helps you with having one, some kind of workout in your day. You know what I mean? Because it always sounds good to say I'm going to sit down and just work out. But sometimes I just have to implement workouts in my day. So I'm the type that'll be like, for my workout today, I'm going to go get on this train, and it has like 42 steps you got to go down. You know what I mean? And I'm going to get on that train. So that means I got to go up, down the stairs. Then when I come back, I'm going to go up the stairs, and then I'm going to walk when I get off. So if I'm going somewhere when I get off the train that's 5 blocks away, I'm going to walk it. I'm going to walk those 5 blocks. You know what I mean? Because then I know that there was something physical I put in my day. So I'm walk, go get the blunts. I'm walking all the time. All the time. All the time. That's my big thing. So even when I sit still, and even being out here, if I sit still and then I'm eating like that, there's never going to be the time when I'm working anything out. And like I said, I've ate more sugar in the past 3 months than I probably ate in a sit-in or in sit-ins like this, probably in years. I just don't sit and eat sugar like that, but I love sugar, because once I get in, I go crazy. I'm like a kid so I try my best. And so that's why I say the beads are good. They are. So like, even if you're a beer drinker, I drink beer, and it's gonna cut you down on that too, because as soon as that stomach is like, oh nope, I feel a little full, they're gonna tighten up. So like right now they're right here around my stomach. So we'll see. I mean, so you can bathe in them, they're on. You know, mine melted together. So at the end, so if they did open, they would only come open to the ones when they were connected. But as you saw in the video, it was quick. It was done right there. It was quick. It was simple. It was it. And I mean, you could have did as many as you wanted. You could have added 40. You could have covered your whole stomach so you could working on it all at once. You know what I mean? You could have did as many as you wanted. That'd have been on you. But I just wanted to start with that. But I really think if my brother comes this weekend, if he comes this weekend and we leave, or whenever he gets here and we get ready to leave, I really think I'm gonna stop by there one more time, because I definitely want to stop by there and get the little salt rocks, the different flavors, the mango, the caramel, the different flavors they had of that. I want to get that. I want to get a couple of the oils. You know, because when you get the oils, the little body oils, it's all different kinds. You know, the watered down ones. These are the real ones. So I definitely want to grab a couple of those. And I probably will do maybe like 2 of the beads around where they connect on your foot from your ankle to your toes. I might do that with my bead, with a couple of beads, and then maybe add a couple more to my stomach. But it would be a new wraparound because this one's already closed. But yeah. And if not, when I'm back in Georgia, because it's so funny, because I'll be back out here in May for my niecey Pooh's baby shower. But if not, I'll just get that when I come back in May. But yeah, but if I'm still out here at the end of March, then I definitely will go get something because my sister and my nephew, it's my nephew's birthday, but the same day as my son's birthday too. So, but if I was to be out here, they're going to medieval times, so I will go again because it's in the same place. Like, I got to figure out the name of that. Hey, Sarah Z. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. I'm not on here doing that. I'm talking about the beads I got and and getting some more, and how they help you with posture. Like I said, they definitely do. Even when I'm laying down, if I'm crooked laying or bad laying, I kid you not, I'm like, okay, I gotta straighten myself up. And it's so terrible. And here's what I'm gonna say for myself. So the Dolly Partons came when I was very young, okay? And when you're young and you get those type of things, you don't even understand the grasp of how older boys, anybody looks at this type of stuff. So you kind of feel embarrassed or fat or out of place. And for me, I'm like, I want to play basketball and hoop and all this stuff. So you're like a sports bar fanatic, or you're wearing larger clothes to try to hide them. But what I learned is just something like this. I can go put on a t-shirt. They're there. It's just part of my life. It's just part of my it's just part of my life. But as a woman, you know, oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. I remember watching Boomerang, which is funny because right now part of the Boomerang soundtrack is playing in my ear. But I remember watching Boomerang when I was young, and how Eddie Murphy was cutting off women because of their feet. And I thought, boy, that's so weird, because I was young. Then I got a little older and I thought, like, it's actually men who like lived off of that. But as a woman, if you say like, oh, I don't like guys and they shorter than me, I just offended a whole group of men, and I'm like, I wasn't trying to. I was just speaking on how tall I am, or you know what I mean? Or if you say, oh, I don't like the guy if his hair is receding, you know, just anything that's shallow. It's all shallow. Like, if her feet are messed up and you like her, go get them fixed. Like, for real. And if you can't go get them fixed, ask her the story of how they got that way. Because who knows? She might have not had shoes and been wearing. Look, I sold shoes, okay? And let me tell you something. Half of the people, I sold children's shoes for years at Nordstrom's. And half of the children that came in there, what I learned was most of their feet got messed up by people doing the wrong thing but thinking it's right. Giving them shoes that did not fit because they could get them on their feet. And so then it would mess up or push their feet from now being lined next to each other to pushing them on each other. It was people who would put kids in like bigger shoes so they could wear them all year long. That's really bad for their feet. And it makes them grow faster too. Because now their feet are trying to catch up inside of the shoes. So now where you thought you were going to have a shoe for a whole year, you still only had it for 6 months because they still have growth spurts. And then some people are born with club feet, flat feet, deformed feet to be that shallow. But as a woman, like it's like you better have a perfect body. And when you take off your clothes, you need to have every part that any man lust after or wants. You should have that, and it's perfect. Your boobs sit up completely perfect at all times. Your stomach is completely flat without a mark or a scar or any discoloration. Your butt is whatever, if it's an apple bottom, if it's a whatever, but it better be perfectly round. And you need to have a little gap right between your legs to be perfect. And your shoe size should be this, and your knees should be this, and your everybody has a flaw. You know, every man when he get undressed is everybody has a flaw, or everybody is not, imperfection like that. For me, I need the perfection to be inside of your heart, inside of your soul. You know what I'm saying? Anything else I could either work with or get away from. It's that simple. Like, but as a woman, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Your hair not long enough. It's too long and boring. It's thin. It's too thick. It's too curly. It's too coarse. It's red. Do you got freckles? Do you got freckles? Do you have a snout on you? Are your lips too big or too thin? Are your eyes born? Do you have a unibrow? Were you born hairy? Like you were like, I don't know how women are jumping off a cliff all day, every day. But instead of jumping off a cliff, we jump off a cliff on ourselves. So we stay with people who we don't need to be around with, hang with friends we don't need to be with, all kinds of things, just trying to find this space. Just find it in you. It's there. It's there. Love yourself. I can't. I promise you. I promise you. And I got a lot of work to do. But in loving myself, it's just gotten a little bit better. And I can see things a lot better. What I'm willing to give, what I can receive, all that. And I truly know, like, oh, well, I know it's no way they could be coming from that place because I'm not even representing that place. But yeah, hey, Susan. Yeah, but, being a woman is hard, Then, like, even when you get older, like, look, I cut my hair once a week. It's never going to stop my grays in the front. I'm 42 years old. Like, my sister embraces grays as wisdom, so I guess you could look there. Like I said, as a woman, it's just always something. It's always something, It's, but I love that that's the way I was born as a woman. I was born in an elite party. You know what I mean? I was born in a place where I was the gift that keeps on giving. You know what I mean? So see, here's the thing, women, whether it's us giving our children life through this here uterus or it's us giving them love in this here life, in this universe, like this is the gift in us. So trust me, when you got that kind of gift, imagine what it is when it turns like, woo, But I love being a woman. I do. I feel like the reason they try to keep us so down is because we got the upper hand. We have the power. Because I know even in the strongest home with the strongest men, that if there's a queen in there, trust me, she's really the capitan of the ship. she that's how that king gets to keep that crown like that, because you gotta have it. We need each other. But I am happy to be a queen and amongst queens. Queens and lioness always running around with me. Yeah. That's how we learn, you know. That's how you go through life. It's like I did my video about, you know, letters to a mom, and that letter to me as a mom. It's also a letter of an explanation. Let me tell you something. I wish being a mom, like I said, I'm gonna say it a million times, and we've all said it. I wish it came with a handbook. I wish it had, you know, a little rule thing that lets you know, you're doing this wrong, and this what's gonna happen if you do this, and if you do that, this is what's gonna happen. But it doesn't. So since it doesn't, it comes with lessons, you know. And so it's times that I remember when my kids were young, and I'd get into it like I'm young. You know what I mean? I'm not even 25 yet, and that's not an excuse. It's just a fact. And so I remember like raging. I'm mad at somebody. It wasn't nothing to get into it because to me, I wasn't hurting my kids because I'm talking about somebody else. I'm telling somebody how they not gonna move that way with me. Matter of fact, I'm doing what I'm saying I'm gonna do. But what I showed my children was how to rage. What I showed my children was how to go off, how to handle this that way. And in my eyes, because that didn't have to be their life, because I was handling on the outer skirts, I was doing them a favor. You know, I was better than those who had them all up in it. It was going on in your house. I was no better. I was no better. Matter of fact, I was worse because my eyes were wide shut to believing I wasn't hurting them. To believing that you know what I'm saying? So actually I was worse. You know, so like I said, you wish. And then sometimes it's not until they get older and one day you see them reacting like that, you're trying to calm them down, and it hits you. And it hits you who you are, what you've done. So like I tell y'all, when I tell you I come on here to do better, it's to prove I'm going to do better. Not to nobody but me. Because see, I used to try to do stuff to prove it to my kids. I used to do stuff to try to prove it to my mama. I used to do stuff to prove it to my twin. I had to do it to prove it to me. I had to prove to me, you could do better. You could slow down. You could speak this out without going off. Because once I'm going off, who really listening? Even if I'm giving valid points, you think the person I'm talking to is still listening? If they are, I want to know how we got here. If they listening that well or they could be that attentive, well, I want to know how we got here to me having to go off. But I just learned how to control me and learn that no matter what it is I do, right or wrong, I better be able to stand in it, and I can. I can stand it. I can stand in who I am. I can give you all of me because somebody else can't give you all of me. They're going to give you the piece they think break me. They're going to give you the piece they thought made me. But I'm going to give you all of me. You're going to know that I didn't get from 0 to 100 real quick. I didn't get from this thought process. I didn't get here overnight. I didn't come on YouTube and see 1 or 2 people do something and go overnight. No, I didn't. I seen buddies lose their shorties. I got tired of the loss. I got tired of apologizing. I got tired of losing my cool. I got tired of people thinking I was something I wasn't because they couldn't see the core of me because all they could see was the surface of the anger in me. That's why I got. So like I said, that's why I changed me. And if me changing me make you feel like I'm talking to you, then that's your conscience talking to you. That's your conscience doing the same thing mine did, and it's grabbing me by the collars and throwing me up against the wall. And it's telling me I'm done. I'm tired, yo. Like you fighting, and we ain't won yet. You fighting, and we still fighting the same fight. It's just me. Anybody know me know I tell you, hey, through grade school, through high school, I had to fight nobody because here's what I tell you. We're going to get into that. But if you got to fight all the time, ain't nobody scared of you. If you throwing these dukes up every day, ain't nobody scared of you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't live in that world. I don't want to fight every day because then I'm trying to prove something. Because when you fight every day, you're trying to prove something. If you jump on here and you tell somebody a story, if I tell you once, that's all I can tell you. So if I say, hey, y'all, no, let me tell you, I didn't do that, I did this. If you want to keep asking the questions, I answered it already. So if you want to keep replaying it, go replay the video. But I'm just not one to keep rehashing the same stuff over and over again for no reason. Like, the world got enough problems, my life got enough problems, personal problems, or whatever, or trials and tribulations, whatever you want to call them going on, for me to be borrowing some extra problems. Let me get some YouTube problems too, y'all. Let me get some Facebook problems. Let me get some plays. Come on now. Told y'all, I jumped on the internet in 2016. I don't do this. I don't do that. And I've had to learn. I told you, because I ain't been a saint neither. Like I told you, during the George Floyd riots, one day I was watching this Target in Minnesota was giving loot they were looting in the Target, and while they were looting the Target was somebody videoing in the parking lot, like, look at this craziness. But the person in the video was like, I just want you to see this, that it ain't all African Americans out here, it's everybody looting out here. So this Caucasian lady had a whole cart full of stuff coming out. She looting like crazy. So the woman had a camera. I guess she noticed the woman with the camera, and the white lady just go dead into, you black B, you black B. That's all she's saying is you black B. So I say, how that white B gonna call you a black B? That's what I put in the comment. Now I still got a strike on Facebook. I said I didn't do nothing. They said, well, you can't put this word with this word. I said, wait, but I could say this. And so then I had a mental problem with what we allowing, that's why I told y'all with anything, if you want to make a rule and make a change, you got to make it a rule. Not just get rid of you. I got to make it a rule. Here's the rule. You do it, you do it, you do it. You'll get this. You don't get them same gifts. You know what I mean? The degrees will be different on how you did it, I guess, And that's how I look at things, Let's see what else. Oh, those two young men, now Amber got me confused because she kept saying their real names. I know one is Sincere because I know a couple of Sincere, so I'll never forget it. But Owen West, Orlin and Owen. Sorry, the names so close to each other. But yeah, I just really pray for those young men to be found so they can be laid to rest, and I pray that every person who has anything to do with that is brought to justice. And even if the justice is just knowing who you are, it's just like Casey Anthony to me. No, we didn't get justice as far as her going to jail, but we'll never not know who you are. We'll never not say your name and say you are a piece of trash because we know who you are. It's like that's how I feel about OJ. Whatever. Take it. But once you on the forefront, you're on the forefront. Once we know, we know. Hey, Rock Just Living, sis. How you doing? Just on here running my mouth, talking about a whole bunch of different stuff, girl. And nothing at the same time. I told y'all I'd be on here like I'm on the phone running my mouth. But yeah, so that was something good today. But let me tell you something about missing children. Since I was young and I saw the movie of Adam Walsh, I have had a heart and a soul and a conscience for missing children. And the worst part is, I'm from a city, and I'm not saying one city greater than the other, but I'm from a city where it's big. It's so big that it's almost like nobody talking about it no more. These kids come up missing, and adults every day. We got a postal service worker been missing since the pandemic. Some days they bring it back up, and then occasionally I might see on the book where somebody throw up. It's been so many days, almost like when Flint, Michigan had its water crisis. We wouldn't talk about it, and then somebody jump up and hey, they 482 days. You say, wait a minute, it's still going? That's what I mean, because sometimes we'll talk about the BS. We'll know every celebrity what draws they put on today. But somebody will be like, I had no idea that the homelessness in Seattle, the drug, whatever the thing is out there, they'll have no idea. It's your back door. Eyes wide shut. No idea what is going on amongst us all. Oh, yes. Yeah, it makes me mad and sad at the same time. Yeah, I don't believe in cruelty to children, animals, elders. mentally challenged people. I just it's so many categories, but when it comes to these children, like, can we let them be innocent? We're growing these kids up too young in every angle. Everybody can't wait. I mean, I was one of them parents. First you couldn't wait for your kids to walk so they could move around. You didn't have to carry them everywhere. Then you couldn't wait for them to get to full-time school so they could be gone to school all day. Then you couldn't wait for them to get to an age where you could go out and then have to get a babysitter. But if I'm just always waiting for the next thing, I'm missing out on what's going on in front of me. Even from there. Some parents are tooting their own horn for being there, and you still weren't really doing much. Parenting is not. Hold on, because Siri just said she thought so. I don't know what you thought, Siri. Sometimes I wonder what's going on with her. TLC to the loving girl. Man. What you saying now? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he knows. Like I said, by the time I was having kids, I wasn't in there. Like I said, I had my first son at 17 years old, 16 and pregnant. And I wasn't thinking about having kids. And so when I got pregnant with my son, all I thought was like, I just want to make sure that my kid's father is there with his son. You know what I mean? Or his child, before I even knew it was a son. Like, if I can do that, then I'll be winning, because, at least you have that. Because sometimes you worry, especially in my era, people are more concerned if you was married. And it was like, okay, so if I'm married and he's doing nothing, or if I'm married and we have these kids, does that make it better? But, so when I got pregnant with my son, I was like, I just want to make sure his dad is there and everything else. And then his dad is who his dad was. And no, he wasn't. And so then I felt bad. And so it just kind of put me in this depression of not breaking a cycle, because it didn't matter if it was my dad's lifestyle or if it was my dad's choices, if it was my dad's whatever. Not there, it's not there. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want that. I didn't. And it was one of the reasons why by that time I had got to a place where I just didn't even want kids, because I knew more people who didn't even know their dad, like, at all. At all. I actually grew up in a place where people, in a time where people, I mean, not a clue, the dad was either gone, and I'm talking about like not even passed away, just gone. And they never had met him. And if they did, they were so young to them, they had never seen him. Some dads were, locked up. Some dads were deceased, but they were gone. And some dads, you would later find out, were right down the street. And like, I just didn't want that. And then I also saw, as being a young lady and, having a single mom, until my mom married my stepdad, but having a single mom, how people look down on you. It was always, oh, these women can't raise these men. You can't do that. You can't do that. But you know what I could do? I could teach my son to love. And I could teach my son to be right and to appreciate everything that come before him. And that you can never, I tell my sons all the time, there's no way you could disrespect a girl up in here and then tell her how much you respect me. When my sons wanted to stay out and come in 2, 3 in the morning, I said, you know what? You're only getting older, not younger. And while right now it seems fun to live like that, if you continue to move around like that, you'll be a grown man staying out that late. But who's protecting your family? They can't even lock the house up because you're not even home. And I think that every young man, whether it's their father, they have to have strong men in their village. They have to. And they have to have strong men that'll talk to them. They have relationships with them. Because those are people who will understand the walk they're going down. Even if they didn't walk down the same road, they'll understand it, though. So I definitely believe that, But I definitely think queens can raise kings alone. Should they have to? Should that be the way it is? No. But I think they can, just like I know kings that have raised young kids by themselves. And they have done superb jobs. And so, Mm-hmm. He does. And see, I've learned too, because I used to think like back in the day when I was younger, and people would talk about like having kids, and you should do it this way, and I just want a boy and a girl, and I want to live in this perfect world, and I want to do this and I want to do that. Then you got older, and like I said, I had my kids young, and it would be people we got older who didn't have kids, and they'd always say, "Oh, it's all these people out here with these kids who don't deserve them, and I don't have any, and I don't have any." And I'd always think in my mind, like, first of all, I believe that just because you get pregnant doesn't mean everybody has the child. That's the truth of the fact. And what's meant to be will be, and that everything has a purpose. And even the children that were lost, you know what I mean? There's all a purpose to everything. And so I believe that there are people who didn't have children, and that didn't make them less of a woman. Like I said, I've had both of my ovaries removed, both of my fallopian tubes removed. You know what I mean? I've definitely had those things happen. And if I wouldn't have had my children before 20, I would have no children, because I wouldn't have the parts to have children, you know what I mean, to make them, so, and that's the thing. I mean, and I'm no less or no more of a woman, you know what I mean? And God knows the truth. He knows what's on your plate and what's for you. And I also know people who were just waiting for that perfect time, and then something happened and they couldn't, and they felt like they messed up themselves. Because there's really no perfect time. I don't, but I believe that a mother can be anybody. I know some aunties who I call mama. They done stepped up for their siblings, and they are there for those children. They don't miss a beat. They don't miss a call. They don't miss anything. They don't. They are the guardians. They are the parents. They are the, I don't. So I believe everybody has their walk. My daughter doesn't have any children right now. She doesn't have any yet. And sometimes I think she thinks because her brothers have kids, she's supposed to. And why doesn't she? But you know what? Then maybe it's not your time. I believe I had children to save my life, to change my thought process. And see, we think that, I had the children as soon as I got pregnant, they changed my whole life, and then my whole mind changed, and my heart changed, and my anger went away. No, I wish. But it's when its time comes, it does. But had I never had children, I never even would have started the journey to change. Especially in a world that show you wrong is right. That's what I said. In this village, it takes a village to raise a child. And sometimes people think that the village must be all the people that got the blood relation to you, and that was your mother, your sister, your brother, your auntie. Sometimes it is the friends, it's your neighbors. Sometimes it's just the people you done got close with. It's somebody from your job who didn't even at first know your kids. They got so close with you, and this time they learned to know your kids, and they became part of your village. And one day you needed them, and they came in handy. Like, that's the village. It's a bunch of people in this here village. And if you believe in the village raises a child, then man, thank God for the village I got. And even if your village is 3-4 people, hey, you got a village. You got a village. I know a lot of auntie mamas. But yeah, so that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that even when I didn't even know I needed to grow so much, I had a village. You know what I mean? So like I said, everybody's village is different. My village is the family I was given to. It's like I said, sometimes you were given things to show you. And sometimes you met things along the way. And everything has a season and a reason or a lifetime. It's a season, a reason, or a lifetime. So my village is a lifetime because they are part of me. They're a part of me. That village is a part of me. It's different parts that make up me come from my village. And so you'll hear me. I have aunties. I have an auntie in Florida and her kids and nieces and stuff. That's my family. And literally she's been friends with my mama since before I was born. That's my family. You couldn't tell me anything different. You couldn't. You couldn't. And that's part of my village. And so, like I said, I believe in villages. And I believe everybody have a different place and space in that village. I'm sorry, my son had texted me. But yeah, oh, my eye. Sometimes I swear I feel like my eye is so red. But sometimes it just feels like there's, I don't know if any of you all have ever had pink eye, but like when you have it, it feels like it's always goo in your eye. So sometimes that's how my eye feels, but it's just that it's tearing up, or like I said, I still have the stitches in my eye. So sometimes it's that the cornea is just up a little bit. That's when I'll take the steroids and my eye will get closer to it. But sometimes it's up a little bit. But when it does that, so from when you've washed your face or anything, it's always feel like something's under it. But so sometimes it'll have this moment, and just did. It has its own moment. Ooh. And then sometimes that's why I also don't focus from the screen sometimes, because sometimes just looking at that is just too much attention. It's like too much. But yeah, so like I said, and then sometimes you come across people. I've been in places where you get mad. You ever found yourself saying like, I've done this much for people, I've done all this, and when I need somebody, nobody there. But it's not always going to be the people that you did for. It's that you put it out in the universe, it'll come back to you. It will. And it may come from a source that is a source you didn't see, so that you can see that it's not always that way, even if you do it that way. Because that person's, so say somebody at your job looked out for you before your friend of 20 years did, right? Well, maybe your friend of 20 years couldn't, or they don't know how to be that person. You know what I mean? Maybe they don't. And then maybe the person who you knew at your job for 6 months who looked out for you, whichever way it was, and they looked out for you, maybe it's people around them who say, you didn't even know them. Why'd you look out for them? So, I mean, people do what they want to do and they feel like they should do. Oh, man. Because, I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it. I've been the one complaining, and I'm sure people have complained about me. Like, hey, I looked out for her, and she didn't. Maybe they didn't. Because sometimes people expect you to do more than what you can do. And I tell people, I try to tell myself I'm cut from a different cloth. And I try to tell myself that I'm made uniquely, and I'm tailor-made. You know what I mean? I'm tailor-made to me. And so if I believe that, for me to get mad that somebody else isn't me, is me not believing that about myself. Because if I'm so original, and if I'm so just me, I'm just me, no matter what, I'm just who I am, then how could you ever be that? You wouldn't be. You haven't been through what I've been through, whether you've been through more or less. You haven't, you know what I mean? So you wouldn't be. So stop doing it to people. Let's stop thinking. And then if you do something for somebody and you're waiting for them to do back for you, then don't do something for somebody. And don't let nobody use you either. I'm never saying that. No, just do what you do because you do it, and that's it. But I used to definitely sit around and think that, like, why don't they do what I would have did? I would have did something different if this happened. Well, that's what I would have did. They gonna do something different because there's somebody different. So somebody different is gonna do something different. Yeah. But I tell you one thing that's a true thing. When you do decide, and it's for anybody who's done it, especially if you're further in it, even more. But when you decide to start loving yourself and fixing yourself, it's going to be some dark days. Because it's going to be all the things that you push back to make it, that you put on the side to not think about. I have to come and face with them. I have to come face to face with them. And sometimes some stuff gets too deep and you say, okay, push it back, push it back, push it back. And then sometimes you say, well, let me go on and go through this because I can't get over it. I can't get under it. So I got to go through it. And I had, as I told y'all, I had to do that with my dad. I had to. I was never going to be able to be a queen for a king if I didn't. I was never going to be able to really honor a king if I didn't. And I was never going to be able to love the man who, because of him, I'm here. And I had to learn to love that. Some don't even see that. But I have a voice and a chance to be better. And when I did that, I saw him. And I saw how hard it must have been for him. And how scary it had to be for him. And how people probably tortured and talked about, disowned, made fun of him so bad that to him, leaving us alone would help us be better. Maybe that was his decision. And maybe it wasn't. But either way it goes, God didn't make no mistakes by making him my dad. So I had to love that. And in loving that, that's why today, because like I said, I went through phases where I was so against the LGBT community because I didn't go through what I needed to go through. They didn't do nothing to me as a community. Not one time. And now today I stand in a place where I'm not bullying nobody because of their sexual orientation. If you don't like it, it's fine. Don't do it. But I can't stand in a judgment because that's one of the reasons why we have people fighting with that take their life. We have people fighting with that who run from their family or lie to their family and live in a lie to please their family that you'll never please. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You know, this ugly, you know what I'm saying? This ugly world, hate made me beautiful. Pain. And like I said, there's periods where, you know what I'm saying, I had no problem going into them, whatever. If we talk about them, you know it was pain that fueled it. You know it's where I live. So I honestly come from a place where I tell people, I can relate to pain, but what I can no longer relate to is staying in it. I can't. And think about this world is just when you think it's up, it'll knock you right back down. Just when you think you got it right, it'll remind you just how wrong it is. I do know. But I believe in energy. And I believe that when your energy is low, it's going to continue to bring all those things that, you know, like almost like how predators prey. You think it ain't succubus out here? You think it ain't things preying on your energy? Knowing that you this close to losing it all, giving up, to snapping. I'm telling y'all, I literally, when my kids were in high school and I had an 8th grader, a sophomore, and a freshman in high school, and I was going bananas and crazy, I used to watch Snap on Sunday mornings, the marathon. And every time the episode would come on, y'all know how it started. It'd be like, born. Born 1979, Los Angeles, California. I could see it. I could see it starting for me. And them showing me some character playing me. How you snapped. How you snapped. And I used to think to myself, there's going to be somebody who can understand how I just lost it. How I couldn't take it no more. Then sometimes you go to tell your story and now you're overwhelming everybody with your story. So now you shut down on your story. And then you hold your story in and is consuming, is taking over me. I don't know how to smile. Like I told y'all, I'm really trying to learn how to really laugh again. Like it will consume you. And I got tired of being consumed. I got tired of being in pain and then some real bad, some terrible stuff happened on the pain. You kind of wish you could just be back in this regular pain or realizing how much better it was before I got here. And it was too late. You know, thinking, man, we should have walked off 20 minutes ago. You know what I mean? Thinking about the times where, could have made a better decision. And like I said, when I got a little old, I used to always say stuff like, and everybody says it, oh, if I could do high school over, I'd do it this way. If I could do this over, I'd do it this way. If you gave me another chance, well, here's a second chance. Here's a second chance. This shit just like high school. Everybody trying to fit in and prove they somebody. Everybody chasing some clout. More he say than she say. More she say than he say sometimes. It could go either way. It's drama. It's people trying to pull your card every day. It's people who want to tell you who they are and don't know who tell you who you are, but don't know who they are. You know what I'm saying? It's high school. And I'm much more mature. Thank God. Because what people don't understand is when you got that negative energy, it's a bunch of people that's looking for a leader. I promise you they're looking for a leader. They're looking for somebody in that same negative boat with them. So they can use that as a justification for what they're about to do. Like I said, I just decided to do something different. You know what I'm saying? I know how easy it is to go back. You know what I'm saying? I know, it's just what I choose not to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, and I take it one step at a time. So like I told you, I choose not to do it on social media. And then you know what I'm saying? In parts of my life, like I said, you got 8 walls up. It's parts of my life where I'm still telling myself, you can put the wall down. Put the wall down. But as soon as I get in it, I'm back with the wall up. So I'm just growing, just trying to grow. Trying to grow, trying to get better, trying to do better. Trying to do better than I thought I would. Definitely better than they said I would. Because, if you go with statistics and what people say about you, we was all born to fail. We was all doomed. But the truth of the matter is that, to me, if I was already born at the bottom, I can only do is get better, I mean, since that's what people put people is born at the bottom, just born. Yeah, you was born to fail. Everything was stacked up against you. Might have been. I'm here, still fighting. That means I've made it more than most. That's what you gotta tell yourself sometimes. Because when you look at what you don't have, you miss what you do. You miss what you do. Have a great one, Sarah Z. Yeah, so like I said, he back already, Sarah. Welcome back. Maybe want to go watch what's that? This Happened to Carter. I know what I'm talking about. I know that came on everywhere. I hope. Was it What's Happening, Carter? I can't remember. Or it had that Welcome Back song on it. Welcome back. And then Mace took it and put it in his song. I think it was called Welcome Back, Carter. Anyway, let me start aging myself. But yeah. So like I said, it's just taking another chance. Nobody's perfect. And sometimes you'll see people and you'll think, oh, they don't understand. And it's not for them to understand what you've been through. You got to grab an understanding of it so that you can help somebody else not go through it. Stop looking at all. This is what people do. It's always, you ever notice that people are always looking for the people that don't understand? Why don't you go find the people that do then? Go help each other out. But people are like, well, they don't understand. But that's what I'm gonna keep going talking to. They don't understand and they don't get it. And they wouldn't know what it's like. Why don't you go get the people that know what it's like so you can help them? I'm just a strong believer that if you ever been hurt, you can recognize pain. You ever lost something, then you can understand loss. You love something, then you can understand love. I mean, that's as simple as it gets for me. Now, if you want to start putting titles on what it is, like that's on you. Like I said, I know people that they'll tell you their mama passed away, and then one day be telling you about their mama, and you say, "Wait, I thought your mama passed away." They say, "Oh, that's my birth mama who's still here, the woman I call my mama." Am I supposed to look at them and say, "There's no way somebody else could be my mama but my mama"? That's not my story. But what I can understand is at least you had the love to call them your mama and love them like a mama, because it's somebody who might not even got that love. So they don't even know how to call somebody mom. And if they were standing before their real mama, they'd probably call her by her first name. So that's how I look at things. But before, I only saw the negative. And before, I used to say, I don't want to live to see 25. Because this world is so dark, so cold, and been so bad that I can't see it getting no better. And I'm sitting here at 42 telling y'all I only choose to see what's getting better. Because I'm done being in what's not. I'm done feeling like everything I touch turned to mud. I'm done feeling like no matter what you do, people only want to see and place you where they want you at. That's fine. Like my mama always say, stop going to tables where they didn't even put a seat out for you. Stop. You walk up to a dinner table and there's, you know what I'm saying, it's 5 chairs, but it's 6 people with you. Then leave. You know what I mean? I'm not going to stand at the table while y'all sit down and eat. And that's how I feel about life. I'm not, please. Just take me with you. Man, we all are. It's when you take the pain and you got to look at it away. It's any way we can, you know what I mean? And that's what's going to make us wise. I promise you. Just take the life. We all got it. We all got this wisdom that this life has given us to give to somebody else, to help somebody else, to be there for somebody else. And sometimes it's like I can't feel my purpose because in all the pain, I feel like there couldn't be no purpose in this. But maybe I had to walk through these dark spots so that when I came out of them, I could understand the people in them. Because I was in them. I was on that dark spot with you. You know what I mean? I was at home thinking I was done. I was screaming in the room and nobody heard me. You know? To rock around, that's right, on time. Sorry, y'all, I told you music in my ear. But yeah. Like I said, life gives us wisdom. It really does. Yeah, it is. Let me tell y'all something. Like I tell y'all, I am not a Bible thumper, and I'm not saying that's a knock. You just got to make things very clear. I'm none of those things, but I am a strong believer. One, I'm a super spiritual person. I'm a strong believer in a higher being. I strongly believe in God. I strongly do. And I believe in not getting into the semantics of religion to forget what the purpose of the whole thing is for me. So that's the only thing, but I don't disrespect anyone's religion. And I'm not gonna tell you the one's not going to heaven. Y'all, you're never gonna get that from me. But whatever you need to do to be a better person. But one of the things that I always think about is the first time I saw Passion of the Christ. Passion of Christ came out, we was in the heart of trouble. And I was a parent. Like, we was in the heart of madness. Then we went to see the movie. Through the whole movie, all I kept thinking about was all these judgmental people who judged this man and how they were getting a thrill out of just seeing somebody being took down for probably the same things they did or whatever, even if it was, because this is what I was getting out the first time I watched it, I'm telling you. But there was a part in the movie that would change me. Put that, that mustard seed that had been put in me as a child to have faith, to have any of that kind of stuff. That mustard seed got watered this day. Because when he sat there and he forgave them, all these people, how his strength came in serving his purpose. Hey, I said, hey, nobody got nothing out of it. They should have got that. And I did. And that's how I look at things. You know what I mean? Forgiveness is for you. You got to forgive people for you so you can move on. And you got to forgive them for they know not what they do. Just like when you were in your ignorance thinking you knew exactly what you were doing, you didn't. Because if you knew what it was going to cause, if you knew how it would go on and what it would affect, if I would have known being a goon with pump goons, I would have never did that to my children. Because I would have known a better way to protect them. So, you live, you learn, you know? You live and you learn. You don't get the same energy in this world that you're putting out into it. That's it. It's that plain and simple. And I've learned that. The universe got a way of reminding you all the time what you've done, who you are, what you are. So like I said, as long as you can stand in it, like I said, I get time in jail. Please know I'm sitting in there. Cool. I'm good. I just got to get adjusted to this new lifestyle. Because otherwise, I'm doing everything in my power to stay out of there. But stand in your right, stand in your wrong. So, but I'm not. I can't think of nothing that'll get me sent there unless I was protecting my own life, and then somebody chose to say I wasn't. And just be fair, I can't really see nothing now. You know, I don't need to speak on. Well, that's like I said. If you're endangering my life and you endanger anything, that is my life. So, other than that, I don't. And then I just sometimes try to think of these songs like we listen to Marvin Gaye or Marvin Gaye. I'm sorry, but I got Sign Said Deliver in my ears and my mind just went completely blank. But if we listen to any music that speaks of times when the wars were going on, you'll learn that the cries of the people gonna be the same. It's not what they want. You don't want your sons and daughters going off to that. You don't want drafts. You don't want the prices of everything going on. You don't want to take the chance of it coming back to your own place and where you at. You don't want none of this. Nobody want that. Hey, Queen of O'Hara. Yeah, I mean, so like I said, you just make the best of what you can make the best of. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. You think every child living in what you call the ghetto, the hood, wake up every morning unhappy? They don't. They don't. You ever been to the block party? Where you thinking it's violence, it's laughter. It's people who actually know each other's name, who know who each other are. It's people who are respecting you truly for the name your grandmother put up over there years ago. And I ain't talking about grandma was killing nobody. Grandma might have been the one growing tomatoes, giving them out. Grandma was the one telling everybody pull their pants up when he's walking down the street. Pull your pants up. And they did it. So it's all about what you call the bottom, I guess. I love my humble beginnings. I ain't never been at the bottom as far as I'm concerned. I ain't never went without meals. I ain't never went without a roof over my head. And as an adult, have I found myself having to, like right now, in a transition about making a big change. I was making a big change to come to a whole nother state, but I have to come back and take care of my eye. Because it's not as easy without any clearance on this eye, and it's not as easy without my own vehicle, and can't have a vehicle without any clearance on this eye. So even with that, I still have a roof over my head. I don't stay anywhere for free because I'm a grown-up. You understand that? And so I'm never ashamed. I'm just asking, what is it I need to learn? What is it I need to do? What did I get out of this? That's how I look at stuff. Please, let me tell you something. If I did run for president, you'd have to change all your views. Shoot, they be like, change them. That's not what we want. It's just like doctors. If you start talking about anything that cleanse out, cleansing or anything else, they don't want to talk about that because if you cleaning out that colon, if you keeping that clean, if you bringing in the right stuff into your body, you take work from them. So, you know, you go to practice, they say, wait a minute, we do these things for money. But yeah, so like I said, good energy attracts good energy. And the reason I call us all lights, I can't wait until I get monetized. Because when I get monetized, I really want to literally, and there ain't gonna be no expensive candles, y'all now. But I literally want to send everybody a candle. And I want to make sure that at one time we all light these candles together, because you'll learn that it'll make a difference. You make a difference. You make a difference. All the lights shining together to just make it brighter. We all are a light with a different purpose, but we all are a light. I really believe that. Even when right now, you know, sometimes we living and you done took the batteries out your light, your flashlight. You done took the stem out your candle so it can't burn for right now. We all alike. We all are alike. Man, it is almost 80 degrees here. It is almost 80 degrees. I don't know what we're doing this weekend. I'm hoping my brother's coming in by Sunday so I can be heading back for next week, start a fresh week. But if not, I don't know what we're doing this weekend. But I know we got to do something because it is nice. It is nice. I had put in an order for Sam's Club to pick up. And so my sister, because she works closer to the Sam's Club, it didn't make any sense to come get me just so we can go out and do something to go. So she's going to go pick it up on her way from work. But this weekend, I got to do something. What are you doing this weekend, Queen of O'Hara? If I go back home this weekend, I'm definitely going to do a dinner or something with my kids. But if not, it'll be me and my sis, me and my nephew. It's one of those. We'll be doing something like that. We might go see my buddies, because when I was leaving last weekend, we couldn't. I don't know. I'd have to ask my sister what we're doing this weekend. But it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful outside. I'm trying to show y'all the light. Oh, there you go, the window. Look at the backyard. It's so beautiful outside. And I was originally going to start my live outside, but the sun was so bright that I couldn't even see the screen. Let me see if I can go out and get a little, I got a little leather outside, but I couldn't see the screen, so I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to read anything. But I was going to come out here earlier, hang out, because Nino just been kicking it outside. We've been in the 80s for like 3 days. Well, it was like the 70s, the late 70s. I actually need to move everything. When my other dog was out here, she loved to sunbathe in certain areas, so I had moved everything around. I had moved the couch set to over into the window area, but then Nino has decided to make the couch. Yeah, I gotta keep these on. Nino has decided to make the couch area, like, because it's in front of the window. If he's out here and he think, get down. I was just telling y'all, no, that's a no. That's a no. It's like he heard me talking about it. I said, Nino, I said, come here. I said, no. You don't get on people's furniture. Just like your kids, I'm telling you. Nino, leave that bee alone. You know I don't mess with bees. Now y'all know that's enough for me. I got bee allergies. I can't do the bees. And that's so funny, since I got stung in October in Chicago, I have been nervous to be outside if I see a bee. So, need playing with that bee. Between that bee and him and me, I'm out. But yeah. So that's it. Like I said, Nee was outside. And I was going to do my live out there and hang out with him for a little while. But I was like, oh, Nee, as soon as the sun starts to get ready to settle, we'll hang out outside. But yeah, it's so funny because I haven't been, since it's cold, I haven't been on the back like that in a while. Oh, you gonna have some fun. That's always a good one. I swear, it's this excitement. It almost reminds me when the grown kids, when you're getting ready to see your grown kids, it reminds me of like, remember when they were babies and they'd be asleep? You almost want to wake them up because they look so angelic. And it was like, oh, I just want to kiss them and hug them and smell them and play with them. But then you know, because you did it before, that that is not a good idea. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I gotta find out what we're doing this weekend. Now I want to know. It's so funny. Remember, it seemed like when the kids were young and I was young, you had to have something to do for the weekend. Now I'm like this bored old person. And trust me, by old, I don't even mean age. Because there's some older people, they get me kicking it. My sister's mother-in-law, she lives in like a retirement village, and she living. She is living her best life ever. Ouch. I hit my bone on the edge of that counter. Ouch. That hurt. So funny. So that's your funny bone? Nothing funny about that. I got a crush on you. Oh, that's what we should do this weekend. Hmm. I think I do. I think I do want to eat some shish kebabs. Oh, that's what we should definitely do. We should grill. That's a good idea. It's perfect weather for it too. Sounds like fun. I always love grilling. Once I get into the grilling habits or season, then suddenly everything I want is grilled. I just want a hot dog. I'm like, go let that grill on. Go got the grill on. Making chicken, get that grill on. And got that grill on, get it on good. But I was telling you, all these bees make you sit up straight. You don't realize how bad your posture is. But I didn't realize how bad mine was until I got these. And once I realized that they'll tighten up when you hunched over and stuff, please, it cause you to sit up. But like I said, growing up and getting boobs before you're ready to get boobs, it'll have you hiding, hunching, doing all these things to cover your body up that you can't have. It is what it is. Now I remember you'd have your friends and they say stuff like, "Oh, you just they like you because you have a chest," and you thought yourself, "I barely like me with a chest." That's why he like me. I hope that's not the only reason he like me. But yeah, guys, I can't believe it's that bright out there. Well, I can. This makes it beautiful, but I wish it wasn't as bright. I'm just gonna find me somewhere to sit, kind of in the shade. I don't know. Now that you said the grill out there, that's all I could think about. And we got charcoal and stuff. Just thinking about maybe throwing something on the grill for dinner for us tonight. I don't know. But if I turn on the grill, I probably definitely turn on the camera. It wouldn't be no big grilling. It's just me and my sister here. But yeah, trying to think. Girl, now you got me wondering what I'm doing this weekend. Because my youngest was in Chicago for a funeral until Wednesday, so it really made me very sad to not get out there. And he was in town, and not be there for him. But now I'm just like, when am I getting to Chicago? I more so want to get. I really more than anything, I want to get down there and see my doctor. That's like more than anything. That's the most important thing I have to do. I have to. I have to because we got to see what's going on with this. Like, what's our next step? Because, like I said, we were supposed to start taking the stitches out like a couple at a time. But even if that's what we're gonna do, I just want to get to it. I have to go to the next level. Anything that keeps me stagnant, I have to either let it go or find a way to move around it. And it's like, okay, you've had your year. I got you done August of 2020. You've had over a year, we got to go to the next step, but it was a process. I went through a depression. I went through a lot. I think I want to put my hair in like a mohawk. If you give. But all right, guys, I can tell my ADD is starting to go everywhere. I'm starting to think about grilling, making something to eat. Going to the store. So I'm going to get back. I love you all. Thank you, queens. Thank you, kings. If you stopped through, thank you for stopping through. If you stopped through later, I hope you have a happy Friday, a good Friday. I love you guys. That's all I can say. I don't do the like, share, comment, and subscribe when we go live. This is just a talking period. I'm really just coming on here to, shoot the shit, talk with my friends, see how y'all doing, see how your week was going, get some of the things that rattle through my mind off. That's all. But I'm going to get up out of here. Have a good one. Have a good day. Like I said, I always say I'm going to come back. So from now on, I'm just going to say, no, I'm going to post something. No, I'm going to be in here. I'm always somewhere around here. You know what I mean? And I tell you, I'm never in the bushes. I'm always on the throne. So even when I'm in your chat and you're watching your live or something and I don't speak, I'm just on the throne watching. And hey, somebody going to take that. Like I said, I'm the only one on the throne. You can have one too. Anybody could be on the throne. We all royalty, so we all should be on the throne when we sitting still. So I'm just on the throne watching, And then when I'm in the chat, it's because it's a place I want to be in the chat at. It's a place that's welcoming and love and the energy good. So I definitely am jumping in there. And even if the chat's not a good place, don't mean that I don't want to be there watching what I'm watching. So you can catch me anywhere. And tonight, it's Friday night. So Heidi should be doing her fun day Friday tonight. I love those good laughs with Bobbles and Addie and JC Bear. I really enjoy that. So yeah, but like I said, that's it. I want to catch Selfie Queen did a video yesterday. I want to check that out. See any other videos that I missed. Queen O'Hara, you have a channel? Well, I'm gonna look and see. I don't know why I feel like you have a channel. So let me get to catching up. I don't know. I feel like you had a channel in that one day. Let me check it out. And like I said, so that's what I'm gonna do. Like I said, go around, spread some love. Spread some love. Drop some comments. Drop some hearts. Drop some love. Drop some crowns. And that's it. And thank you, everybody, for coming through. Thank you, Sarah Z, for making it on in. Drop my Stevie Wonders real quick. Get my cool on. Like I got on Ray-Bans. Man, I need to clean them. I got on Ray-Bans. But yeah, so I'm going to get up out of here. Love y'all, and I'll talk to you later. Ooh, the Ozzy Brothers in my ear. Every step I take from the first time. Oh, sorry, y'all. Let me get out of here. I'm just a singer.